to save Kay! Pal, I know, dear God. Bobbly's Embassy Secretariat's office. By the way, Detective, I suppose it's a bit late to be asking, but why are you here?
Well, better late than never, I guess, sir. I was placed on guard duty for the Babalese Embassy today.
And why are our police guarding an embassy? Probably because we're kind of a neutral party, maybe? Maybe?
Well, on account of the card they got from the Yatagarasu, they called us up and asked for our help, sir. Oh, and because we've been searching for the Yatagarasu these past 7 years. It was a more or less mutually beneficial arrangement, if you ask me.
Except for how mutually unbeneficial this has all turned out to be, I suppose. It looks like you failed to competently perform your guard duty yet again.
No!
Look forward to your next salary negotiation, although it's out of my hands.
But sir, if it gets cut anymore, I won't be able to buy even packet noodles anymore.
Oh my good lord. Alright, first things first. Crime scene. So our victim was the secretariat of this embassy, I take it? Manny Cochin. I heard that he was an admirable person. Very admirable. The cause of death is a stab to the base of his neck. He was lax in watching his back. We were fortunate that the fire missed our victim's body for the most part. If the fire had burned a bit longer, it would have made identifying him a hassle. Yeah, almost like they were trying to hide the body or something like that. So Mr. Cochin was stabbed to death in the middle of a raging fire. What in the world happened inside this room? Quite a lot, apparently. Alright, let's inspect this damn body. Let's see. Hey, is that one of the hairpins? There appears to be something in his pocket. Oh! This key. It can't be. Isn't this the Yatagarasu's key that was stolen 7 years ago? What? But that's...
Huh? 7 years ago? Oh! You mean that case where I was framed, sir?
Which one? Yes. It's the piece of evidence that stole the life of Kay's father 7 years ago. Which was then stolen by Callisto Yu.
What? Mr. Faraday was killed with this key, sir. I thought he was killed with a knife. Blah!
Scruffy, at the very least try to remember the details of crimes you were a suspect in. Francisca, as you will recall, Detective Gumshoe was not present when Miss Yu made her escape. Plus, even among law enforcement, only a few knew of this key's existence. I doubt that a new rookie at the time would have been made privy to such knowledge.
Oh, I feel like the victim right now. All trampled on, sir.
I suppose I just have to fill you in now. The secret to this key is... it can turn into a friggin' knife.
Knife! Oh! Wow, that's amazing, sir. It's like some kind of magic trick.
Yeah, Tagarasu's key data. The fact that this is playing a part all over again. I knew it. This is the same exact piece of evidence that Miss Yu took with her. I remember this beautiful pattern in the blade. I remember this as well. It's a vine motif, isn't it? Yes, it looks like two interwoven vines crisscrossing down the blade.
Vines, sir? I think it looks like a bunch of stars, if you ask me. It's one of those six-sided stars, just like the police mark on our IDs.
I really don't think you can call these stars. To say that the detective's art sense is underdeveloped would be an understatement. The real question is, why was the Babalese Embassy's secretariat holding this? While we don't know how Mr. Kojin came to possess this key, we do know that this was stolen by the Atagarasu from the Kadopian embassy. That's right. Mr. Faraday had written that fact down in his organizer. I believe this means that further research is required into the country of Kadopia. Why don't you ask Ambassador Palino about what he knows? Supposedly, he was a candidate to be the next Kadopian ambassador once long ago.
Motive!
Maybe. Maybe. He should be able to answer any specific questions you may have. Let's see. So examine the fact that he's got the frickin' key. Now this man, where do I know him from? He was in that newspaper. Hold on. I don't think I've got it anymore. No, but I can look at this. To Mr. Edgeworth, Steel Samurai Daddy. Yeah. That's nice. That's very nice. Let's see. Is this knife the murder weapon? Some preliminary testing has been conducted. According to the results, the blood on that matches the victim's blood. The blade's shape was also found to be consistent with a stab wound. I suppose this means that we now know that the crime scene was committed with this knife. Did you say crime scene? Yes, I know what I said.
This knife's got some really fancy ornamentation going on, huh, sir? This thing practically screams artsy at me, too. Although, it's also covered in blood, just like the last thing that I said was artsy.
But the handle is pristine. There's not a single drop of blood on it. Speaking of the handle, I believe it is a butterfly motif. It's very beautiful. Yeah, it does have a butterfly motif. I should probably look at the two flags of the Republic and the Kingdom of sorts. Because they've been keeping the butterfly and the plant motif, but what if one was more focused on the butterfly versus one that's more focused on the plant? Kind of showing the actual split of the country itself. Logic. Knife data jotted down. Killing in this man's hand. I don't think there's really anything else for me to look at. Oh! It's a knife wound. It's obvious that what he was killed with, but I wonder if it's consistent with the wound. Indeed. Alright. I don't have much logic. I think I've only got that one piece of logic right now. Yep, just motive on the knife handle. The ceiling fan must have fallen from the ceiling.
A ceiling fan? What does one of those do?
Exactly what it sounds like it does. It's a fan that is installed on one's ceiling.
Well, if I had one of those in my room, I bet I'd go dizzy from staring at it as I slept.
I hate to admit it, but I'm the kind of person that also gets dizzy by staring at ceiling fans. Why are you looking at me like that? Detective Gumshoe, in the real world, we close our eyes when we sleep.
To be fair, I haven't actually had a good night's sleep in a long time. They keep cutting my salary.
Because this is a national treasure, can I ask that you please not touch it? I'm afraid the only ones allowed to touch it are myself and the Secretariat.
Hold it! But there is a possibility that it is related to the murder, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, why don't we give up for now? We can force them to let us investigate it later when we find some solid proof.
I suppose I don't have a choice here. This must be one of the prima duck statues Kay was talking about earlier. Is it just me, or does this man look just like the Steel Samurai? They could be twins. Fascinating. The ball's prima duck statue data. Fascinating.
I'm T-posing! Sorry, but Interpol is still conducting its investigation beyond this point.
I'm a subordinate of Miss Von Karma. Is there some reason why I'm being denied access?
My superior clearly stated, don't you dare let anyone near the site. You got it? If I let you examine the site, my superior would get really angry at me.
You know, Mr. Edgeworth, I feel really bad for the guy, so why don't we do as he says?
Yes, I suppose we might as well.
Hey, it's another butterfly!
They believe it is the symbol of the Republic of Babal.
A Babalian knife.
A drawing this big on the wall of an embassy. It definitely conveys a sense of overwhelming patriotism.
Well, I got a lot of patriotism too, sir. The reason I became a cop in the first place is because I wanted to protect our country.
You may want to, Detective. However, I've yet to see the fruits of your desire.
Well, you don't have to be so blunt about it, sir.
It's okay. We love you, Gumshoe.
Mr. Edgeworth, there's still something on this display rack, sir.
Oh!
Knives, huh? Although the blades are all that remain of them, unfortunately. You don't say. That seems important.
I guess the handles all got burned off by the fire.
That seems extremely important, that there just so happens to be a little something missing. Now I'm just trying to think about it. Were they just taken off automatically, or did they burn away?
So even the knives fell victim to the fire.
Ambassador Palino, are these knives yours?
Why, yes, they are. They're a special set of ornamental knives featuring the national symbol above all. These butterfly-themed knives, along with Alabaster's own set of knives, are comprised of 3 knives each. But I can't believe the Barbalese ones have been reduced to this state.
Ornamental knives, huh? There's a small release on the tang of this blade. Ambassador Palino, what is this notch here for?
Oh, that! It's a feature of these knives wherein you can freely exchange the handles on them.
They did not burn away. Those handles are gone. They're missing. That enough tells me there's quite a bit there.
So that's why we can change how they look to fit the situation, of course.
I see. So these knives are constructed so that the handles can be easily removed. Why did we not note that?
These shelves are all lined with American souvenirs and memorabilia. God. Wow, Edgeworth, that was a great impersonation of me.
Thank you. I've been working on it.
Why?
Don't question me. These shelves are lined with American souvenirs and memorabilia.
It's really strange, isn't it? I mean, I thought this was the Babalese embassy. So, why are there so many American souvenirs, sir?
Perhaps the Babalese are studying American culture and our tourism industry. If they have plans to make the Babalese tourism industry truly flourish, then they would need to observe and study other countries' methods, I suppose.
Well, speaking of tourism, I got these from the blonde guy earlier, sir. He said that if I bring these with me to Babal, I can trade them in for a few buffets.
Oh. So how do you expect to travel to Babal?
Well, the whole world is connected by the ocean, sir. And for an all-you-can-eat buffet, I'd swim all the way to Babal if I have to.
Can a few simple coupons really motivate people to do such fantastic things? For a man like A man who has had his entire salary stripped away from him. Yes, he would do anything to get that buffet. Anything. Even so much as swim across the ocean to reach his destination. All for that buffet.
Looks like this was once
once great-grandfather clock, but it has fallen victim to the fire.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, is it okay for me to talk about the clocks in my house, sir?
If they're unrelated to the case, I hope that you will refrain from sharing, but...
Well, you see, there's this one clock that I made by myself, but the other one,
That's quite a detective. No! I want to hear it! Taking the opportunity here from freaking hear the stories and all that. There are still some burnt objects scattered around the floor.
well, burnt things get burnt and they become burnt things, you know.
No, because there's no way to prove that the burnt thing started out as a burnt thing.
Was it a burnt thing or was it not? I have no idea what's what anymore, sir.
Yes, I suppose it's a bit hard for someone with a burnt-out light bulb to comprehend.
No, I replaced all my light bulbs this morning.
God damn it, Gumshoe. Miles Edgeworth! What is it? Let me tell you something. You are currently my subordinate. And if you wish to convince everyone else of that, will you speak to me with respect? Is that a question? No, command. But you asked me— Shut up! What with a giddy glint in her eyes? I don't think that will really be necessary, Francisca. Oh, really? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that you are still under me. I thought Francisca was flying around the world in pursuit of the smuggling case. So then why is she here at this embassy? That's probably because of the smuggling ring. There's probably some evidence suggesting that there's some shit going on here. I was investigating at the Alabastian embassy when I got wind of this mess. That's right. The Atagarasu was due to appear at that embassy as well. Yes, but the difference is that we didn't have a fire over there. Although there was an incident at the Alabastian embassy as well. But I left Agent Lang in charge of that case and came over to the Bowley's embassy. Ah, so Agent Lang is here as well, I see you've met. Well, he's in the Alabastian embassy acting as bodyguard for Ambassador Alba. However, he seems to have a different reason for being there. You don't say. So, the suspect in the murder that occurred in this office is that little girl, I see. Is she perhaps trying to be the Atagarasu?
Kay would never harm a soul, sir.
Kay? You remember, do you not? About the case we investigated together 7 years ago? That girl is the daughter of the victim in that case, Mr. Faraday. So, she's that feisty little girl. Kay has been on the trail of the Atagarasu, which is how she ended up here. Looking for the one who took her father's life. I see.
Kay's trying so hard, but you know what? The Atagarasu just keeps on tricking us all.
How so?
The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. But all we've had is an arson and a murder. The lab boys are going in circles. You know what this is, sirs? It's a breach of contract, and it's going on the rap sheet.
If you ask me, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that nothing was stolen tonight. I do wonder, though, if Callisto Yu really is the Atagarasu. It appears that he died of a stab wound. Grrr. Whoever did this had a lot of nerve.
Please don't whip me, please don't whip me, please don't whip me.
Oh, thank God. I just can't fathom what could have led the killer to turn a knife against a man. And I just can't fathom what the prosecutor lashing out with a whip is thinking. Because she's Francisca? Would you mind not pointing that in my direction? It's dangerous. And anyway, why are you showing it to me? I have no particular reason. If you have no reason, don't you bring that dangerous object near me! Do you understand? Is she really that oblivious to the irony in that statement? She lets loose that dangerous whip of hers for no reason at all the time! Yes, she does. Badge. What about your prosecutor's badge? I have one too, you know. Oh yes, so you do. But seeing as I'm not currently a proper prosecutor, I thought I'd give presenting it a try. Is that any way for you to act towards your superior? As if threatening a whipping is the proper way of lecturing someone. Fuck you, I'm going to lecture anybody the way I wish to. You want to be whipped, I'm going to whip you. I didn't want to be whipped. Too bad, you want to be whipped. No! Would you mind not pointing that in my direction? It's dangerous. And anyway, why are you showing it to me? It's the same thing. Okay. Miss Von Karma, what do you think of this piece of evidence? Well, since you asked so nicely as my subordinate, I'll answer you. However, as your superior, I also must make sure that my subordinates grow on the job. Therefore, please gather your own thoughts together first, and then try presenting again. A simple, I don't have any thoughts about that would have sufficed. It would have sufficed, yes. Actually, wait a minute. Alright, I can't go to the profiles, right. Okay.
I can't believe that Manny fell among thieves tonight. Without him, I have no idea what my schedule for tonight is.
Ambassador Pal, I know, I believe your schedule tonight will consist of listening to reports from the police. That, and only that. I ask you to cooperate not only for your own sake, but for Mr. Cochin's as well.
You're a rather strong man, aren't you? How fascinating!
What the hell was that expression?
Here, I know it isn't much, but I'd like you to have these.
I'm sorry, but it would be against my principles to accept a bribe.
Oh, no, these are simply coupons we distribute to promote a ball. Remember, we offer a large number of discounts and offers when you visit lovely Babal.
Now I remember. The Republic of Babal is known for its feverish tourism industry. I was wondering if you might tell me a bit about the deceased, Manny Cochin.
He was my secretary in the embassy secretariat, charged with running the whole place. He was an admirable man. His death is of great loss to our country. He was in charge of everything, accounting, printing, taking care of our national treasures.
I'm sorry, but did you say printing?
Our country's primary resource of revenue is our tourism industry. So in order for us to print out the necessary pamphlets, flyers, coupons, etc., we have a printing press here at our embassy.
I see. Please excuse my forwardness, however. I feel I should mention that I have the distinct impression that I've met him before.
Oh, yes. Since you are of the legal profession, I suppose you just might have. After all, Manny was involved in the KG-8 incident.
The KG-8 incident?
The defendant who was found innocent in that case was Manny.
Yeah. So your Mr. Cochin is the same man as the one in that case?
It's been 10 years. Manny recovered personally from that case and dove enthusiastically into this job. He was the one who planned this event and was to oversee this embassy's renovations. It really is a shame. He had such a bright future ahead of him.
Huh. You don't say. What exactly did you mean earlier by renovations?
We can't have tourists and visitors to our embassy think we're a poor nation, can we? So renovating the embassy is something of an investment. We may have a rather paltry budget, but we're trying our best to make do. However, I guess the only person who could have helped us do our best is now no longer with us.
Ambassador Palino, I was wondering if I may ask you about Cadopia.
Cadopia? Alright, what would you like to talk about?
First, I'd like to ask you about this key.
What about this key?
I found it sticking out of Mr. Kochin's pocket. I believe it originally belonged to this embassy. Is that correct?
Upon closer inspection, it seems this key is shaped like a butterfly.
That's not all about this key. It also is capable of changing into a knife.
Oh! How fascinating!
Is it possible that the ambassador didn't know about the existence of this key? We'll see.
In its knife form, there's a flower mark at the base of the blade. I guess this knife might be from when we used to be part of Cadopia.
Hold it!
And how did you come to that conclusion?
Well, it has both of Cadopia's national symbols, the butterfly and the flower. I suppose Manny used this key here at the embassy back when we were still at Cadopia.
Stole from the Cadopian embassy 7 years ago by the Atagarasu.
Fascinating.
Ambassador Palino, this key was stolen from the Cadopian embassy 7 years ago. By Callisto Yu, otherwise known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu.
What? Oh! Really?
You were not aware that Miss Yu had broken into this embassy at that time.
I'm sorry, I can't be of much help. I'm not very familiar with the details, you see. I only became the ambassador after Babal became its own independent nation. But if Manny were still alive, he would probably know about what happened back then.
Mr. Kochin and Miss Yu knew each other 7 years ago. But that doesn't explain why I found the Atagarasu's key here in the present.
Oh dear. If people were to find out that a murder occurred at our embassy, the numbers of tourists would plummet, as would our revenues. It would be a disaster. What are we going to do?
He really does seem worried. Perhaps you should refrain from bringing this up.
A bit of a weird thing to focus solely on the revenue and not the fact that a man was murdered.
Let's see. Hello. Okay, are you all right? You believe me, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't think I did it, right? Yes, of course I don't. And I promise to prove that it wasn't you. That's enough chit-chat. You can investigate all you like, but it's only a matter of time before we take her in. It would be wise of you to give up while you can. No! I don't think so. Kay isn't lying, and my investigation will prove that to be true. Go ahead and try then, if you're that confident. I can't allow this to continue on this way. I must prove her innocence post haste. Right. A small personal safe. This was Mr. Kochin's office, so perhaps he stored his most important documents in here. Of course it's locked. It appears we won't be able to open it without the key. The key. While you were on guard duty, did you notice anything unusual?
Well, I was on watch inside the embassy, but unfortunately I didn't run into the Atagarasu, sir. But I did talk to an officer who was on duty near the border between the two embassies, who told me that not a single person crossed the boundary during the incident.
I see.
The investigation under the fire and the Atagarasu are a mess thanks to both events. I'm so confused, sir. Should I be putting the fire out or investigating? What do you think, sir?
Aren't you old enough to solve your own problems yet, detective? I'm 31 and I still have struggles trying to solve my own problems sometimes. Nothing wrong with asking for advice. I'd like an update on how the investigation is going. Dear God, I can hear the people mowing outside. My God, those things are loud.
Oh yeah, well, let's go, sir.
In other words, no one has any idea what happened here, correct?
Well, to put it simply, yeah, you got it, sir. But we do know that something happened in this room, sir.
Any moron with a pair of eyes can see that what happened, detective.
No. Well, anyway, let's investigate every single nook and cranny in this room, sir. We have to get serious or Kay will end up getting arrested as the killer.
Yes, I'm already well aware of that.
Oh.
In order to find out what really happened here in this room, we will need to gather whatever information we can. It's time to take a good look. Right.
Looks like all that stuff that's left is a bunch of burnt stuff. But, well, I guess we got all the info we need now, huh, sir?
Yes, it would appear so.
But, you know, after all is said and done, I still have no idea what's going on. Nope, not a clue, sir. And I just can't figure it out.
Detective Gumshoe, it's nothing to get so worked up over.
Oh, you mean I should use that thing, right? Defunction. No, is that projection? No, that's not either. I think it sounded like... Oh, I got it! Lock it!
Logic. It's logic, detective. Logic. Now that I've collected some information, the next step is to connect a few of them together to see if I can make sense of this mess. Alright, let's do it!
Logic!
Okay, we got a lot here. Let's see. Let's see. Yes. The design on the knife's handle. It greatly resembles the special bobbly species of butterfly. It does, doesn't it? Plus it says right here, this knife is property of the Republica Bebal. Perhaps this means that the knife used in the crime was found right in this room? Maybe? Maybe these two. Yes. To steal your dirtiest secret. Is it possible that the dirty secret the Yatagarasu is out to steal is in this very room? Dirty secret? Francisca, you're in pursuit of some dirty, underhanded dealings yourself, are you not? Something tells me that this is no coincidence. In that case, then, the person I'm looking for is here in the Babalese embassy, The head of the smuggling operation. I think I might just need to ask Francisca about her smuggling case in more depth. One more, though. Here you go. We know for a fact that the Yatagarasu's key was used at this embassy. Furthermore, we found it in the victim, Mr. Kochin's pocket. Which leads me to think that perhaps it is the key to the personal safe in this office.
Good thinking, sir. Let's go try it out.
Alright, let's do it. It appears I was correct. Well, now we know what the key that was used for. The key that was left to us in the victim's pocket. It literally turned out to be the key to the next piece of the truth. What have we here? Well, the thing's got another compartment because there's paper sticking out of it.
Hey, there's nothing inside. You think the Yatagarasu made off with everything, sir?
No, detective. I believe all we need is a closer look. Alright. What is this here?
It looks like the ripped corner of a piece of paper, sir.
No, I don't think it's ripped. It seems more, to me, like it's stuck in the safe.
Hey, you're right. It won't budge an inch, not even when I tug on it. But I don't think I've ever seen paper stuck on the inside of a safe before.
Hold it!
Detective, I think you have it backwards. It's not the paper that's strange. It's the safe.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that the secret to this safe is that it has 2 compartments. Even just eyeballing it, you can see that the inside is a bit too shallow. Furthermore, with the unnatural way the paper is stuck at the back of the safe, I'd say that there is an extra bit of space behind the back wall of this safe. In other words, the safe has a second compartment.
What?
I suppose that you are correct in asserting that the paper is stuck in an unnatural manner. However, if what you say is correct, and there is a second compartment, how do we go about opening the door to it then? As you can see, there is no other lock or keyhole in sight. Actually, there is one more spot of interest on this safe. Oh? Yes, and I believe that spot is the keyhole to our mystery second lock. The safe and its locks. Alright then, since you are so sure of yourself, show me how you deduced your answer. Why not just put the key back in the hole?
Hey, there's a hole here, sir.
It's a little too oddly shaped for a latch hole.
Wow, that's a funny shape for a latch hole, huh? It's shaped kinda like a star. Dang.
You put the knife in there.
Do you think, sir?
Detective, I would hardly call that shape a star. Must be some reason for this hole.
Well, there's gotta be some reason why this hole's shaped so weirdly, you know?
Am I overthinking this? No, I don't think so.
I'm overthinking things. Nah, there's no way I could ever do that.
Gumshoe, could you please be quiet for a second? You're frightening me. Alright. The knife. Doesn't the shape of this keyhole remind you of something, Francisca? The shape? It does look very familiar. However, I believe it's simply a latch hole for the safe's lock mechanism. It's just for keeping the door shut. Nothing more.
Hold it!
Is that so? The person who used this safe, Mr. Cochin, made sure the safe had 2 compartments in order to hide something. Do you honestly think someone like that would allow the keyhole to the hidden half to look so obviously like a keyhole that even the average person could figure it out? You can't be serious. Are you saying that this hole is the keyhole to the hidden compartment of this safe? That's precisely what I'm saying. And I will prove to you right now that the Yatagarasu's key is the key that will open it.
Objection!
The Yatagarasu's key? Miles Edgeworth, this had better be a very bad joke. Sorry, but this is no joke. The Yatagarasu's key is the very key that will open the second compartment of this safe. We know that this key opens the first compartment of the safe. But the keyhole you're talking about is of an entirely different shape than that of the key. That's because you swap it and use the knife. See? Let's go over this again, shall we? The Yatagarasu's key was originally made to open Mr. Cochin's safe in the Cadopian embassy. We confirm that as fact by opening the door of this safe with it. Now, let's take a look at the back end of the key. Looking at the knife portion head on, what do you see? What are you talking? It appears that you've come to understand what I'm talking about. When viewed head on, the knife's blade is the exact same shape as the keyhole. The real function of the knife portion is to act as the key to the hidden portion of the safe. But that's preposterous! Because it looks like a knife and was used like one to kill Mr. Faraday 7 years ago. We fell under the misconception that it was always meant to be a knife. But for both safe and its key to conceal such clever tricks, whatever is hidden inside the secret section must be of incredible importance. Then, it's even possible that what I've been searching for is inside. Scruffy, hurry up and open that safe!
Ah! Yes, sir! Open it now, sir!
These items, they're
it's a bunch of funny shaped things. I guess they're still...
You're in the way. Now move, Scruffy!
I didn't think I was in the way.
These pieces of art. They're identical to ones that have been stolen from various countries around the world. I figured as much. These are the treasures the section of the safe was to hide from view. I believe a more thorough examination is required. Dragon Ball. These are pieces of stolen art from around the world.
I wonder how much they're worth, especially this one.
Scruffy, don't touch those valuable pieces of art with your filthy hands. Why? Do you have any idea what would happen to you if one of them were to break? Is it just me, or did she hit one of the few pieces of art just now? Hold on. Is this the document that were stolen from you? This is the document that we thought was stuck earlier. I wonder what it's about.
Beats me, sir.
Why don't we take a look at it first before we give up, Detective? Mr. Koten's name is written here on the last page. I wonder what the significance of this document is. Well, it's missing a page. It's missing the middle one. Page 2. These are pieces of stolen art from around the world. Same. It appears that we found the key that the Atagarasu, no, misused stole 7 years ago.
Since it was originally from this embassy, maybe she came back to return it?
I don't think she's the type to be so kind as to do such a thing, Detective.
Okay, then what do you think, sir?
Callisto, you. For what reason did she steal the key? To build this sort of trick into one's safe is really something.
Yeah, it's neat how this safe has 2 compartments, but what's really impressive is that at the other end of the key was another key. I totally hadn't noticed.
I wonder if Mr. Kochen was just paranoid or if he had secrets of that great value.
Speaking of paranoid, I once sharpened both ends of my pencil. But then when I went to erase something, I got all paranoid that I was gonna stab myself.
Wait. Oh, goddammit. Please refrain from dispensing your special brand of unrelated stories while on duty.
Yes, sir.
Quite the reveal there. We'll go talk to Francisca now. Francisca, when last we talked, you said that you were on the trail of a smuggling ring. I suppose the reason you are here right now is related to that? Yes. After analyzing the intel we've gathered from various countries, this embassy rose to the top of our list of sites to investigate. And this is what tipped us off. The missing paper! This accounting document? It's only 1 page of the whole thing, so we're not sure about all the details. However, it's enough for us to grab onto the tail of the beast. For you see, this type of paper was made only in the kingdom of Cadobia. Which means that somewhere in this country is of Alabast and Babal as the head. The one pulling the strings behind the entire smuggling ring. That's Francisca for you. She's amazing, pursuing this case of all she has. Yes! Go back.
Yes! Eureka!
Take a good look at these documents, Francisca. It says that there are 3 pages in total, and yet there are only 2 here. Correct. Now take a look at the smuggling activity document in your possession. Tell me, is it not possible that your page was taken from this set of 3?
3.
Well, well. It certainly looks that way. By putting our multi-part puzzle together, we seem to have arrived at an answer. And it seems that you have now found what you were looking for. Yes, and with this it has become crystal clear that Mr. Cochin himself was responsible for the mass smuggling of Babalese ink.
Babalese ink?
Babalese ink is a special product of the Republic of Babal. However, due to a special reason, only a limited volume is ever exported.
Hold it!
And that reason is? That's classified. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. In any case, it seems that the head of the smuggling ring was our victim, Mr. Manny Cochin. His base was in an embassy, thus it was hard for both our country and his to interfere, making it the ideal conditions under which to run a smuggling operation. But it's so frustrating. I lost the person I was to rain judgment down upon with my whip of justice. You will have to do what? Well, even if he is dead, we still have a responsibility to look into his misdeeds. You expect me to whip a dead man? Well, I'm not interested.
Francisca, you must know that Manny Cochin was the suspect in the KG-8 incident.
Of course I know! On top of being the head of the smuggling ring, there is the matter of what really happened in that case that needs to be resolved. Yay! Are you done investigating? You realize now, don't you, that this girl is the only one it could be?
No!
Now come along quietly, Yatagarasu, K. Faraday. You are under arrest for the murder of Manny Cochin. Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you have to believe me, I didn't do it! I chased the fake Yatagarasu in here, and he was already... You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Hold it!
Cease! I'd like to help you reduce the number of mistaken arrests Interpol makes.
What is that supposed to mean?
You know damn well what I said. I believe I told you that Kay Faraday is not the culprit of this crime.
Very well. I suppose I have no choice. I'll show you just how foolish your claims are.
Oh, you wanna go? Let's fucking go!
Why arrest Kay? Even your police confirmed that the Yatagarasu infiltrated the Babalese embassy tonight. Utilizing the confusion caused by the fire, the Yatagarasu snuck into this embassy. Furthermore, this girl claims to be the Yatagarasu. And most importantly, other than her, there was no one else in here with the body.
Your reason for suspecting Kay is because you think she's the Yatagarasu?
Exactly, but it isn't just me. She calls herself the Yatagarasu.
I mean, she does, but... yeah.
Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I was only out to capture the fake Yatagarasu! Imposter or not, it matters not. A Yatagarasu is still a Yatagarasu.
Very well. Then I shall prove that Kay is not the Yatagarasu who killed Mr. Manny Cochin.
Go ahead and try. Show me what the prosecutors of this country are made of.
That fucking expression she does is just unsettling.
Hold it!
They may have confirmed it, but are you telling me that no one could catch the thief? If so, you're basically admitting that the Yatagarasu that committed murder eluded us.
Of course. I chased after the Yatagarasu that entered the Babalese embassy right away. And that is also why I'm making this arrest right now. Because at the end of my long chase, there was only this girl. In any case, this is what I believe happened tonight.
Hold it!
The confusion caused by the fire
Are you saying that the Yatagarasu was not the arsonist who started the fire? A suspicious person in a long coat was spotted in the area. Officers in the area claim to have seen that person start the fire. It sounds like we have a phantom in our midst.
Yeah.
In a way, he could be considered a phantom, with the way he randomly appears. Kind of! Sort of! Slightly! A little bit!
Hold it!
Just because she calls herself that doesn't prove that she's the killer. Well, but it does give her a motive. The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, "I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret." Furthermore, there are said documents pertaining to some smuggling activity in this room. She obviously wanted to steal them. So she killed Mr. Cochin for the key. I see. Her logic is very sound. I expected nothing less of an agent-playing secretary. However, that statement just now didn't seem right. It might just be the opening I need. Hold on. Oh, right.
Hold it!
So you're claiming that Kay knew that a foreign country's embassy had such documents? As stated in the calling card, the Yatagarasu was out to steal a dirty secret. There's something about that expression. I don't know what it is, it's unsettling. I don't know. Which means that the goal tonight was to steal those smuggling activity documents. You have it all wrong! It was the fake that sent that card! Your words are meaningless. If you are truly innocent, then let's see some proof. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I leave it to you to handle this. Yes, I'd rather you did. The Yatagarasu's goal, huh? You can claim she's innocent, but you can't change the facts I've already outlined.
Hold it!
I really don't think that being the first to discover the body makes her the killer, by default. No, but if you saw the self-purported Yatagarasu standing in front of a body, wouldn't you get a little suspicious yourself? And so, I'd still listen to what that person had to say before I passed judgment. I don't do bad things, goddammit, I listen to people! It's called character development! Have you never heard of it? No, I haven't. Shit! Are you talking about yourself and those times when you were under suspicion? I think the pain of being falsely accused is something you really should experience.
I personally know that feeling really well, sir. Really well.
And given my situation, I now know exactly what it's like too! I'm fine with never experiencing it. Ever. Are you done with your little group conference? So Agent Sheena suspects Kay of murder simply because Kay is the Yatagarasu. But if I can prove that Yatagarasu's goal is not related to murder, then I may be able to begin to reason with her. No. I don't think that is the case. No. Okay. I think... Yeah, I'm gonna present this.
Objection!
Okay, I was right. Good. Agent Sheena, I regret to inform you, but there is a flaw in your logic. Oh? Even if you claim that she is the killer and that the Yatagarasu, I am certain that securing the smuggling documents is not the motive behind the murder. The key to the safe in this room was found on Mr. Kochin's body. Furthermore, the Yatagarasu would not be so stupid as to leave without the documents. Exactly. Oh. Oh my. By the simple fact that the documents were still in the safe when we looked. It's obvious that the killer's target was not the safe at all. Then perhaps she didn't know that Mr. Kochin had the key on him.
Objection!
If that's the case, then why would she have needed to kill him? Because I can think of no reason for her to kill him if she had not known that fact. Need reason. All of this is simply our conjecturing after the fact. It's entirely possible that she accidentally killed him when she was sneaking in. Perhaps she didn't notice the safe's second compartment before returning the key.
Ah!
But the fact still remains that Mr. Kochin was stabbed to death.
Objection!
Cease! But you have no definitive proof that it was Kay who committed the act. Actually, I do. I saw her holding the knife using the victim with my own eyes. What? What? Allow me to tell you a bit more about the evidence that will put her away behind bars. Fine, let's go. The knife wound on the body is consistent with the blade of the knife. The knife with the butterfly handle is the murder weapon which the killer was holding. I assume she obtained the knife from the display rack and used it on the victim. The knife is a part of a special 3-piece set which had a design like no other. The evidence and testimony, it all points to the girl. There is no counter-argument. That is your definitive evidence? You see now that she is definitely the killer, right? No! Mr. Edgeworth, you've got to believe me! I saw a suspicious person in the long black coat outside the embassy, I swear! And you came in here because you were chasing this suspicious person. That's right. I ran into this office only because I was chasing after that person. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the lights, but then... Ah!
Who's there?
This is... I came to this room upon hearing the girl's scream. Almost perfectly timed. And when I saw her holding the knife, I immediately restrained her. So the object Kay felt by her feet on the floor was the murder weapon? I had the knife analyzed right away, but we failed to find anyone's prints on it. But the suspicious person in the black coat who came into this room before me... You continue to insist there was such a person. But if there was, where did they go? That... I don't know, but I know they came in here! That sounds like the desperate excuses of a suspected killer, not a trustworthy testimony. You understand, don't you? We can't trust this girl's words, Mr. Edgeworth. She has a point! Even if Kay's words are the truth, I must show that they are with some solid evidence! Mr. Edgeworth, I really didn't. Kay, don't worry. If you didn't do it, then there must exist a way for me to prove that. Still not giving up, I see. In that case, try to counter my argument if you can. Don't worry. I can and I will.
Alright, rebuttal time.
Hold it!
Does this mean that you already have the results back? We have confirmed that the shape of the Bavalese knife's blade matches the wound. Please don't confuse the efficiency of Interpol's forensics teams with your own.
Objection!
I won't if you don't underestimate our police force. And so we're clear. I'd hardly say your logic is sound, which you will see in a bit. If you can prove me wrong, please, by all means, go ahead. This has been my intention all along. Now, let us return to your testimony. Design-wise, I actually like Sheena.
Hold it!
You mean to say that you saw Kay holding the murder weapon with your own eyes? I was also on the search for the Yatagarasu. When I heard that girl's scream coming from this room, I rushed over straight away. When I arrived, I saw that girl standing there motionless with a knife in her hands. That I already told you! I only came in here because I was also after the Yatagarasu! The suspicious person I saw came into this room. But when I entered, it was pitch dark. I felt something by my foot on the floor, so I turned on the lights, and then... You found out that it was the murder weapon at your feet. How many times do I have to tell you? We can't trust the words of a suspect.
The only thing you'll accept as evidence, is it?
That's the only acceptable way to counter an agent of Interpol on the scene of a crime. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have some kind of evidence that can prove me innocent?
I think I do. Because there is one piece of evidence I find to be a bit interesting.
Is it the fact that the knives have interchangeable handles? Because that right there is the one thing that's on my mind right now. Just, you know, just say.
I think I need to carefully examine that piece of evidence again. Okay, hold on. Fuck, I can't...
Hold it!
Hey! Okay, so I can look at it. Okay, so this is the butterfly. There's a lot of skill detailing on this handle. It would appear that the handle on this knife is removable.
I guess so people can change them whenever they feel like it. Sounds like fun, sir.
Well, there's a reason why I'm suggesting this. Because it says that this is a Babalese knife. Because of strictly the butterfly. Well, here's an idea. If one uses the butterfly motif and the other one uses the plant motif, what if, this is a big what if this is the handle of a Babalese knife, but the blade of the other knife? You know, just suggesting, just saying, it might be an idea.
I don't think people would remove the handle just for fun, Detective. Aw, damn, I can't take it off? Okay. So this is what took Mr. Kojin's life. Some of his blood is still on the blade.
Wow. I've been a detective for 7 years already. I've seen a lot of weapons in my day. But knives that were used to kill are always the hardest for me to bear.
Yes. Unlike guns, this is the only weapon where you're likely to find the victim's blood on it.
Yeah, just like how this one is practically drenched in it, huh, sir?
Exactly. That's the other reason why I think the handle was swapped out, because for some reason the handle is clean and there's no blood on it. Despite that, it looks like the blood managed to miss the handle somehow. Okay, I think I know what to do. I ask that you please refrain from speculation. It's a sound hypothesis derived from the evidence. There's no room for debate. Ah! Miles Edgeworth, know that an ungraceful loss will not be tolerated, my subordinate. Now rebut her hypothesis with factual logic. Otherwise, what was your investigation for? Yes, you are correct. Thank you. Helping a subordinate out with advice is the job of any good superior. You are really having yourself a good time, aren't you, Francisca? She seems to be rather enjoying herself, but she is correct, nonetheless. Agent Sheena, please continue with your testimony.
Hold it!
About the three-piece set, is there really no other like it? Let's ask Ambassador Palino for more details, shall we?
The knives are indeed special. They have the butterfly, the symbol of the Republic of Babal, engraved on them. And because there are only 3 of them in the world, they're all very, very valuable.
The national symbol, Well, the knives are covered in the butterfly design. The knives are covered in the butterfly design. Okay. We need to check the knife. without the handle.
Along with the Alabastian set, our respective countries only have 3 knives each.
I see.
Are you satisfied now? If so, let's continue.
Hold it!
No, I believe there's still room for debate, and I'll thank you to not decide that for me.
I didn't decide anything for you. I'm merely looking at reality the way it is.
Objection!
Are you sure you're not just viewing the facts through rose-colored glasses? Okay, now you're being a smartass.
Mr. Edgeworth, I think she's mad at you.
Perhaps, but our definitions of reality are a tad different.
Are the two of you done chatting?
Agent Sheena's proof is the Babyliss knife that Kay was allegedly holding.
Yeah. So, how are you gonna prove that Kay didn't do it, sir?
If Agent Sheena wants to suspect Kay merely because Kay was the only one here, then I must show them with evidence that Kay couldn't have committed the murder.
But do you have such evidence, sir?
Yes, because the knife! That or maybe I'm thinking of it too. No, it's the fucking knife. It has to be the knife. Yes, there is one piece of evidence that seems very unnatural to me. And I believe it is my duty to point that out to Agent Sheena. There, that's it. Okay. Present. Please be right.
Objection!
Yes! Yes! Please go in with the line of logic that I was going for here. So the murder weapon was the knife with the butterfly design on it. But is that really the truth?
What are you getting at?
I'd like for you to take a look at this. There is blood on the blade, and yet there's not a speck of blood on the handle. This signifies that at the time of the crime, a different handle was attached to this blade. The knife that Kay was holding had its handle switched and was in fact not the real murder weapon.
It wasn't the real murder weapon?
This knife can be taken apart. Shall we give it a go? Alright, let's do it. Hey! There's an engraving! There's an engraving! As you can see, the Babyliss knife has now been disassembled into 2 parts. The killer must have pulled the murder weapon out of the victim's body, and proceeded to swap the knife's original hands with this butterfly one. It was all to create the illusion that Mr. Cochin was killed with the butterfly-themed knife!
Well, that fixed my hair.
This should clear up any and all suspicions surrounding Kay. Yeah!
Your argument isn't airtight yet.
How so?
It's possible that the girl herself is the one who switched the handles.
Really? Really? Oh my dear. Oh my dear.
Hold it!
You poor fool. Don't be ridiculous! For what purpose would she do such a thing?
I don't care to know how a criminal thinks. The way they view the world is beyond the comprehension of a normal person like myself. Therefore, I wouldn't put anything past them, no matter how odd it may seem.
Objection!
Objection!
The truth is right there in front of you, and this knife will show you the way. You will come to see that Kay is not, and could not have been Mr. Cochin's killer! Okay, the fucking symbol. This. Ah, damn it, I can't examine it. Close up, close up.
What is this mark on here?
It's the mark of a flower. Yes! I assume you know what this means.
No, not really. Butterflies rest on flowers all the time to drink their sweet nectar.
And so they do. However, would this butterfly really drink the nectar of this flower? The answer is clearly not a chance. Now to prove the relationship between the butterfly and the flower with this, the Cadopian Embassy Guide.
Take that!
You can't be serious.
It appears that you've made the connection. The flower on this blade is designed after a certain country's national symbol. That's right. The Kingdom of Alabast. In other words, this blade is from one of Alabast's ornamental knives. This part of the knife handle has Babal's national symbol of the butterfly on it. Therefore, it is undeniably Babalese in origin. But as we both know, you can't kill someone with just a knife handle. Incidentally, when exactly did the murder occur again, Agent Sheena?
After the fire had broken out.
That's right. Kay had entered the Babalese embassy after the fire had taken place. Furthermore, she had not been to the Alabastian side of the building before then. On top of that, not a single person passed between the two countries during the fire. Which means that Kay could not have transported an Alabastian object over here. This makes it impossible for her to be the true killer! Ha! Eat that!
Whoop! Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! What a great victory!
There's something extremely important here, though.
Huh? Hey, why is everyone so quiet?
I'm happy we got this far and cleared Kay's name. But what worries me now is what will happen next.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? An Alabastian knife here? Do you mean, how did this find its way to the Republic of Babal? It didn't just find its way over. Rather, we should focus on how it was smuggled over.
You know what? My brain hurts thinking about it while we're just standing around. Thinking while you're on the run? Now that's the way a real great thief operates.
Okay?
Oh, thanks a bunch, Mr. Edgeworth, for proving me innocent, I mean. You believed in me the whole time, right? Tell me you did.
Not really, but...
Come on, you don't have to be shy about it. Your argument is still not airtight?
Would you care to elaborate?
I understand now that the girl didn't commit the murder. However, there is still the possibility that she is the Yatagarasu. That again? Look, how many times do I have to explain it to you? I am the real Yatagarasu. I'm not like that fake one that goes around setting fires, okay? Whether you're the real deal or fake, it doesn't really matter. All I have to say is this. I have my suspicions that this girl is the one who started the fire.
Objection!
Hey! Preposterous! On what grounds do you suspect her of such a thing?
The fact that she calls herself the Yatagarasu, that in itself is the most elegant proof.
You're playing dirty.
Machina! Yes? I have no intention of taking back any of what I've said. I am the great thief Yatagarasu, and I refuse to allow some imposter to claim that name as their own. The path of justice that my father pointed me towards, I will walk it the best I can. It's not good to be so stubborn. I hope you can understand that. Well, thanks a lot for the concern, Miss Sheena. Let me share something with you too, as a token of my appreciation. Those sunglasses totally do nothing for you, so I'll steal them from you next time, okay? What? Well, I guess we better get going. Going? To where? Well, to the Kingdom of Alabast. If we don't go, we won't know for sure, right? I suppose not. We won't get anywhere simply by standing here thinking. To see where the Alabastian knife came from, we'll have to pay the Alabastian embassy a visit. All right, let's go, Miles Edgeworth. As you are my subordinate, I will not tolerate you bringing the investigation to a halt.
Understood.
Did you all just walk past me? Are you... What? Oh, I do not take kindly to that.
And I don't take kindly to my throat being in severe agony, but goddamn, is this game absolutely worth the pain. Okay. So we somehow managed to get Kay out of the fire, but now I just realized what I said. A murder taking place between the embassies of two countries that are on the verge of reconnecting. That is concerning. Very concerning. But, as of right now, that's where I have to end it. So if you all like this, be sure to let me know. And thank you all oh so much for watching. And I will see all of you in the next video. Thank you. By the way, the sunglasses do actually look pretty good